This is the big story, and tonight we want to talk about what happened last Friday. A police officer shot and killed a man named Robert Delgado at Lentz Park in southeast Portland. So we filed some public records requests because of this. We filed them with the city just this morning. We're looking for things like the police dispatch logs, the 911 calls, all the kind of stuff that police have that maybe they haven't shared with us just yet, but can kind of help us piece everything together. And this takes weeks. It'll take a while, sometimes months even, to get these requests filled. But just a couple of hours ago, we can tell you the Portland police did release some pretty major bits of evidence that are helping us at least understand a little bit more about what led up to this shooting. It includes a timeline of the police response, photos of a replica gun that police say Delgado had that day, and an 18-minute long audio of police dispatch logs. We have a breakdown of the timeline, all that different stuff. It's at kgw.com right now if you want to take a look. We're also going to have more on it at 6:30. But for now, let's take a little step back and let's answer a huge question that's been on the top of minds of a lot of people in this city. Like, why were only police officers sent to that call in the first place? And I say that because Portland just poured millions of dollars into this new program that kind of seems like it could have been a good alternative that day. 911 dispatchers have already said that this call, there was a weapon involved, all that sort of stuff, it wasn't the right fit for this unit. But it turns out there were a lot of calls that don't seem to be a right fit for this unit. Here's Maggie Vespa.
I live here. I live pretty close to the park. My daughter saw the memorial and she asked me what happened.
Southeast Portland's Lentz neighborhood is tight-knit, and people here are grieving what happened Friday.
The community, I would say, is sad, confused, upset.
Those emotions, says Neighborhood Association Chair Sabina Erdis, have layers. First, there's the fatal police shooting itself. 46-year-old Robert Delgado, reportedly homeless and long afraid of police, is dead. Portland police said the officer who shot him believed he was armed. They now say it was a replica gun and released this photo. Some witnesses said they didn't see a gun at all. The investigation is ongoing. That's layer number one.
It was very jarring to hear of what happened.
Layer number two, some are asking why police were sent in the first place, especially when the city of Portland just poured $4.5 million into launching a new alternative. Its name, Portland Street Response.
We're anxious and just ready to get started.
KGW covered PSR's launch back in February. The program gives 911 operators the option of sending an EMT and a crisis counselor to calls involving mental health or addiction. For now, Portland Street Response is focused on the Lentz neighborhood where Friday's shooting happened. Friday afternoon, police were blunt. 911 dispatchers were told Delgado was armed. That ruled out the option of sending Portland Street Response.
This would not have fit within the protocols to dispatch them.
That rationale would be simple enough, says Erdis, if Portland Street Response wasn't so often kept on the sidelines.
We were surprised to learn about the low call volume.
Last week, 2 days before that police shooting, the Willamette Week reported PSR was being vastly underutilized, with emergency dispatchers sending the teams to 1 or 2 calls a day. PSR staff told reporter Tess Risky they could handle 4 to 5 times that.
And what did you think of those numbers?
So I understand there to be a few different reasons behind the call volume. One of the first arguments, of course, is, this is a new program, so we're trying to roll things out slowly and do it right. But another thing I've heard is that there's a specific triage criteria that has to be met.
KGW confirmed that criteria with Portland's Bureau of Emergency Communications. In order for dispatchers to send Portland Street Response, the person in question has to, among other things, be possibly experiencing a mental health crisis, intoxicated, or on drugs. They have to be outside or in a public space. They can't have any weapons or be behaving violently, and they can't be obstructing traffic. Boeck told KGW dispatchers are forwarding every call that qualifies to Portland Street Response. And PSR told Risky they're responding to every call they get. No one seems to know why there are so few calls that qualify for this new program. KGW also reached out to City Commissioner Joanne Hardesty, who's overseeing PSR. She declined to comment in light of Friday's shooting. People in Lentz telling Risky they're frustrated, especially knowing the money for Portland Street Response was cut from the Portland Police Bureau's budget.
The neighbors in that neighborhood have a lot of different opinions over the role of law enforcement versus alternative options. Some of them feel like police don't respond to them quickly.
Looking around her neighborhood, Erdis doesn't understand the lack of calls fit for Portland Street Response. Lentz is hard hit by the housing crisis. There's a massive need. And even after hearing 911 callers said Delgado was armed, Erdis feels like PSR could have helped.
And it's just kind of hard to understand why the police response wasn't such where they could kind of de-escalate to the point where they could bring in street response to talk to that person. Why so quickly they resorted to shooting and killing.
Maggie Vespa, KGW News.